Oh, a very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody on frequency. This is ZS6YI running the World DATV Net, Sunday Net today. Wish to welcome everybody on frequency. I think there's a long list, so we'll keep our overs quite short until we've gone through the list. We also want to thank the Qatar Satellite Company for allowing us the opportunity to co-share onto their satellite. And this satellite was developed by AMSAT DL, the German amateur satellite group. And we also had a lot of input from AMSAT UK and, of course, the British Amateur Television Club. Today on the list, let's just go through to the list and see. It's quite a long list. And welcome to everybody and those that weren't on last week. We wish to wish you a very happy New Year. May 2025 be one filled with great projects and a lot of amateur radio work. To follow me will be ZS1 Mike, Leon down in the Cape, and then Martin, G8KOE. Martin, if you can keep the over a bit shorter today, just to get through the list. And then Brian, G6HFS. And then Henry, long time no see. That's Henry, ZS6 Mike Charlie. Welcome again, Henry. And then you pass it to William, Papa Yankee 2 Golf November. Welcome on board, William. And nice to see you from Brazil there. And hello to Mike. You say stuff. That sounds interesting. Golf 0 Mike Juliet Whiskey. And then Mike to Benno in the Netherlands, Papa Alpha 3 Fox Bravo X-Ray. And then to Peter in Wales, Golf Whiskey 7 Bravo Zulu Yankee. And then Peter all the way down to Ed in Brazil as well, Papa Yankee 2 Radio November, but he is portable, so that's going to be interesting. So let's immediately pass it back to Leon. Leon, will you please take it, ZS1 Mexico from ZS6 Yankee India. Oh, by the way, I got the focus sorted. Forgot to tell you.
Okay, Gary, ZS6YI in the group, ZS1 Mike saying good morning, good afternoon and good evening. Yeah, it's not just focus, Gary. You've got all sorts of little artifacts and things that we used to have right in the beginning. So something is not running the way it usually does at your place. I don't know what it is, but anyway. Okay, not really much news this week from me, as I'm at the workplace during the week. I finished this weekend. I built the second board for the organ, populated it and tested it last night, and it's working fine here on the bench. So now I must find a date where I can go and install all this stuff and clean up the origin of all the problems, which is the wiring of the organ. Yeah, I'll have to discuss that. See, I'd like to do it on Friday, but I think we have some test on Friday at the work, so I'll have to discuss it when I'm there. Otherwise, my GPS based beacon that I built, we tested at work and it worked very, very well. It's small little box, 100 milliwatts output in S-band, and we fixed it to a kite and flew the kite, and we had one of the radars slaving on the data. So this is very important for the test range, which means whatever we have that flies where we can attach this thing, the first guy who's got lock on it, which is normally telemetry, then we feed the data to the central computers in a building way down there, and that redistributes the data, the geodetic data, to all the other instruments on the 70 kilometer long test range. So even if they don't see the thing, they will immediately be slaved onto it, and then they can acquire it. So yeah, that was the first preliminary test on a kite. We'll later on fix it to all sorts of things and see how it goes. What else? No, not much. Oh, I'm working on a masthead preamp, a 2-meter masthead preamp for a friend of mine. He does this long distance 2-meter contacts, and he blew up his preamp. Now it's only got one gas FET in there, but he's changed it so many times that the tracks are all gone right there where this tiny gas FET sits. So I replaced it again, but now it's not 50 ohm tracks anymore. There's nothing, so it's just little bits of wire, which obviously makes the impedance and the whole thing all wrong. So it's self-oscillating, and it's got like hairs all over, you know, if you have it on the spectrum analyzer, and if you slide the lid on, it really goes wild. So yeah, I've got some work to do there to dampen that thing down so that it acts as an amplifier and not oscillate by itself. Too much gain, and needs some neutralization and stuff, but it's all because the input and the output track is gone. It's very short, it's maybe 4 millimeters long on either side, but that's he now extended with a thin piece of wire, which of course is totally different impedance than quite a wide 50 ohm track on that board material. So that's another challenge, but we'll see if we can save it for him. He had some problem with his sequencer or something, and the transmitter went straight into the into the received preamp, and that killed it. Okay, that's about it from me. So Martin, over to you. G8 KOE for the group from ZS1 Mike.
Okay there, Leon. Very good. Interesting on the GPS side of things and the tracking, etc. Got some of the sound in my ears. I run a Bluetooth earpiece, and I don't get feedback, but it can be quite off-putting. I've got to keep it quick, I'm told. Thanks to all those that wished me a happy birthday. The actual birthday was on the 2nd of January, so but it was still nice to have it, especially from Ed, who put up a caption for me. What have I been up to? Still playing with SRT, and thinking of making an activity sort of evening in the UK to start with on Wednesday. I say evening. I'm usually monitoring most of the day, and we've had all sorts of things like Martin G4FKK has shown through his microscope that he's got on the watch repair that he was doing, total dismantling, and started the reassembling of watch, cleaning it. I wish I'd recorded some of it. I'll try and remember to do that next time, but really good. Learned a lot about different screws, etc., and cleaning up the jewels that are in it, and the polite language that can happen is the jewel disappears out of camera view, but luckily he didn't lose any, but all good. No VK cat pictures been sent recently, so I can't update on what's happening down under with I forget the cat's name now. That's terrible, isn't it? But Rob, I expect, will send me some more now I've been brought up the subject. On my little SRT repeater, which is a quad unit arrangement, it's only on the internet, so it's not real radio, real TV, real anything, but it's fun. At the moment, audio only appears on channel 1 by default. I'm hoping to put audio on all 4 if the bits arrive. I'm splitting the audio up and then refeeding it in, and I'll have an audio cable that hopefully will connect into my laptop once I've got a sound card that goes there, all via a really expensive mixer that we purchased, which actually the insides of it I found, which let's go to the which looks like that, my sort of £10 some odd mixer, but that's what it looks inside. Nothing special, but you couldn't build one for the price. So everything will be fed into that, then zoomed back on. What else have I been up to? I've been thinking about Ed after what he got up to last week and the pictures and things and such like. And I thought, well, one's got to mark this sort of happening. So I found this little friend that was lurking around. That I thought, well, we'd introduce him to, I don't know what name we can give him. But then I thought, well, can we go a stage further and perhaps help Ed in what he should do next time it happens? So I found this on when I was looking this morning. I thought, well, we'll share this bit of help from GHKOE.
If you're attacked by a swarm of bees, most people would jump into water to try and escape them. But the bees will just wait for you to resurface before attacking again. Instead, you should cover your face with your shirt to protect your eyes and mouth. Run as fast as you can to escape the swarm, aiming for a shelter like a car. Once inside, remove any stingers to prevent further venom release.
Well, I thought it was funny. Anyway, that's enough from me. And let's put a test card and pass it on to Brian from GHKOE.
Check we've got audio. I don't know. Let's put me on. If I can find me. Yeah, not been up to a lot. Did a little bit of building. It's only a little microphone interface for All Start. Just started doing that. That's the effort of the inside. Oh, got myself twice on the Winter Hill. That's novel. So that's going to just be a little desk mic. That's all that's going to be for. The rest is in bits, waiting to go in a box. So that's next on the list. Of course, you know what happens when you box things up. They never work. That's it from me. I'll keep it short and sweet. And I'll say cheers for the time being. Hand it round to Henry. I think it's ZS6 Mike Charlie from G6HFS. Just put test card up and I'm out.
Trying my best here to get this microphone of mine to operate. There we go. It's a nice It's good to be on again after such a while, and just want to say good morning to everybody from the western part of the world, and then also good afternoon to everybody on our timeline. So very, very nice to be on here after about a year of absence. Really good to be back, and it's good to see all the people I've spoken to before being around on frequency today. So thank you very much. I'm actually very pleased that it actually worked. Been battling this morning with Gary for those of you who have been watching, but anyway, it's just all part of the fun of DATV, getting into it again after being away for a year. I had to re-maintain just about everything in the link. Specifically, I had to cut trees and so on in my neighbor's property so that I could get a better signal on my my mini tuner. In fact, it's improved. It's just about doubled, so that's been a good thing for me. Right, so what else have I've been doing? This week I actually managed to get a power supply. It's a switch mode power supply to work. I'll be honest with you, I've never ever worked on a switch mode power supply, so it was quite something for me to get to understand exactly how these things work. And it was like a mind bend for me. So that's been very, very good. In fact, found that two of the output power transistors had blown, and in fact, I then found that it wouldn't start oscillating, and then found two resistors that had also gone. So it obviously took quite a hit. So that's what I did. Just to sort of end off before I go, to give you a rundown of my station, I have a Nokia pallet sitting about 30 meters away from me. I run everything via the a LAN cable. Dion, I know you hate that. Leon, I know you hate that completely, but unfortunately that's all I can do. I live in an apartment complex, so I have to make do with my situation. And I can tell you it's not as stable as a direct link. There's no two ways about it. So I have the pallets sitting about 30 meters away from me, and then 11 meters away from it with the LMR 400 is the potty onto a 1.8 meter dish. Unfortunately, the loss over that cable is high. I must have at least a 3 dB loss over it, so my signal is slightly downgraded compared to everybody else possibly on the channel. From there I go into my Pluto, which also sits near the amplifier, and there's a 28 volt 28 amp power supply, meanwhile power supply, which feeds the power, and that sits in a different room altogether about 30 meters away from me. In the shack here, or shall I say outside from the shack, I have a separate 1.2 meter dish with a bullseye LMB on it, and then around about also about 30 meters of 25 meters of cable, TV cable from the LMB to my winter to a bias T, which is sitting in the shack next to my Winter Hill, which works very, very well. And then from there I've got it connected to a laptop. My transmitting laptop is quite a nice piece of equipment. It's an i5 with about 32 gigabytes of RAM, and it's got a NVIDIA card in it, which is GTX 3060, so it's quite nice. So anyway, guys, that is my story. I actually do not want to push my luck, so I'm going to ask that I'll be listening. I'll be listening to everybody. I'm looking forward to it. There's some interesting stuff coming up. And once again, thank you so much for allowing me to be on the net today, Gary, and hope to be here again very, very soon, and maybe with a more stable network. Okay, 73 now, and I'll be listening. I think, William, it's for you to take it now. PY2 Golf November and the net. This is ZS6MC.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. I have still an experimental running phase. The system is not very stable. I would like to thank very much Ed, PY2 Romeo November, that helped me to be here today. Okay, so my name is William. I am 72 years old. My father is from Berlin. My mother is from Ghent in Belgium. I am Brazilian, have been born here in Brazil, dedicated my life for the executive slavery, working for Leibald Heraeus in Cologne, Germany, in high vacuum technology, and later with Barco in Belgium, working for control room systems. And after many years of doing things that I didn't like it, I am here as a rural producer. I am harvesting custard. I live in a farm, and here I dedicate myself for meteor monitoring. I belong to the Global Meteor Network and for also the Brazilian Meteor Network, and doing a lot of experiments with balloons, telemetry, planes, and Blitzortung, lightning, and in amateur radio I do a lot of EME in 2 meters, moon bouncing, and this is my first days in DATV, and I would like to thank the Qatar people, German people, and British like BATC to be possible to be here. Okay, I am here and about 200 kilometers from Sao Paulo, in a hill, top of a hill, and I thank you all receiving me here. Okay, I would like to pass the TX to Mike, Golf 6 Mike Juliet Whiskey, and
Okay, well, thank you, William. That was interesting. Quite some antenna setup you've got there. I like the big dishes, but Ed was showing us the various antennas. Just wish I could do something like that here. It looks great, but I guess there's not much activity in that area on 2 meters, so EME might be the only way. But yeah, really, really good to see that. Welcome to the net. Transmission was mostly fine, actually. Just 1 or 2 dropouts for reasons we never understand, but it does happen sometimes. Anyway, what am I going to talk about? Stuff. So the first thing is behind me, which is the hot plate, and over there, which Jim advised on. That was a good make. I've been looking for one for a while. So hot plate was acquired and was used, if this works, to remove that pellet. That's the what we called the stereo pellet. I don't know if you're familiar with that one, but 2 100-watt PAs, and I've taken the isolators off and bypassed the 2 isolators. So we'll see if that works at some point going forwards. There's 2 hot plates there. Actually, there's a tiny little one which you would think was no use for anything, but actually is very useful for very small PCBs, and it runs off a USB power supply. one of the power delivery power supplies, and the big one, which is 20 by 20 centimeters, which was just right for the pallet. So there we go. That worked reasonably well. The other thing I was going to talk about was my CTC SS, and you can probably see this radio next to me here. This is a Kenwood or a Trio TR751, and the European version didn't come with the tone encoder board, but all our repeaters are now tone encoders, and it's from the 80s. You can't get the board anymore. So what I've done is I've generated a copy or clone of the board, and here it is in KiCad. And you might you might see that, and I showed that a while back. The board's called the TU7. Anyway, I did the PCB. I ordered some parts from China. They turned up this week, and the PCBs turned up on Friday. So I made one up, and initially it didn't work, which was a bit disappointing. Anyway, I made up another board in the end, because I've got two of these radios. I tried it again, and lo and behold, the second board worked. So I'd been blaming the design and trying to find out what was wrong with it. I think it must have been one of the chips was bad, and particularly U2, which is the one that sends the data. I think it would have been that one, because anyway, I don't know. It's what happens when you get chips from AliExpress. But the second chip from the same place worked, so who knows. Anyway, there you go. And I've got a picture of it here somewhere. Let me just go to that. In situ. This is, where's the fan view gone? I have to zoom out a bit, I think, so that you can see it a bit more clearly. It fits in that space there. It used to be a modem was supposed to go there for some other reason, but you can't get that either. Yeah, so it works. So happy days, so to speak. Anyway, yeah, we should keep it short. I was just going to comment on the preamp, Leon. You basically need to find out what's causing, or he needs to find out what's causing it to blow up so often. A sequence of fault once or maybe twice, fine, but if he's had to replace it that many times, something systemic there in the design of the system that means that it's blowing it up. And I know with SSB preamps in particular, they're quite vulnerable to that. You know, you only have to get the sequencing slightly out for them to not work. Also, take the power rating with a pinch of salt, especially if you're using FT8. But the solution, I guess, would be to buy a new one, a bit expensive, or try and use copper tape. I use the stick-down copper tape that you can get for, I'm not exactly sure what it's actually intended for, actually. But anyway, it's copper on one side and glue on the other, and you cut that to the right width and stick it to the PCB, and it more or less works. And that gives you a replacement track, assuming you know what width to do. But yeah, they're on the threshold of instability anyway, because that's what gives you the best noise figure. But then they do tend to blow up. Okay, I think it's Ed next. Is it Ed? No, it's Benno. PA3FBX. So around to you, Benno. G0MJW.
Yeah, hi guys. For those I haven't seen so far, Happy New Year. Yeah, I should get rid of my text, my Christmas wishes. Let's do that also. That shows how often I'm using the system at the moment. I am active, but not always on the QO-100. Anyway. Nice to see everyone again. Nice projects. I think Leon, you're doing great work with small modern technology. I wonder how far that is out of your comfort zone, but apparently you are you can do a 50-year-old board for for an organ, an orgel, and you can do this small GPS telemetrics for transmission for tracking. Okay, well, then the only logic thing is to show what I am doing at the moment. Well, first of all, I have installed, and I wonder where I have my desk cam. Yes, it is here. So this is the a microphone which is on my shelf for at least 10 years. Original, it was there was a board in there which was broken. That's the reason why I got it, because it was cheap, probably for free on a junk market, junk sale. And finally I found a good use of it, because in the bottom easily my Alstar board fits, and I made the small LEDs on top here, 3 LEDs here, and obviously a switch, so I now have a radioless mode. I'm still thinking about 2 adjustments for audio gain for input and output, and I even can have space to have the DTMF codes here, so I can upgrade it as far as I wish. But it's easy, and it's there, and it was available, and it was something to do this week. Another thing what I did, which is lying just next to it, that's one of these, a ESP32 on the back, a nice colorful display. I think it's great to this simple things to build this kind of nice display. And obviously I'm not going to use it for this, because this is just a demo, but I had to learn how to work with ESP32s, and I made some PCBs, some free wire PCBs, and to just get this kind of connection. And the reason why I started this is, well, which way should I start? Well, I actually purchased some of these, which is for €6 a small standing wave protection, or whatever it's going to use for. But the idea is very simple. According to the schematics, it's from 1.5 to 7 gig, but I can imagine you can use it depending on what kind of voltage. And if I combine that with this project, which is one of those displays, it's probably looking very nicely. And it's obviously something simple to create a nice reference meter. I don't expect calibrated stuff, but I just need to know if it's 0 watts, or if it's 50 watts, or if it's 100 watts. And if I wonder if it works this simple way, well, let's see how that journey will take me. But the project is very nice to have one of those meters in front of your system, and well, you can make it very close to the amplifier, or you can even make it a little bit further, but that's all what I will connect between this connector and obviously the back of the ESP, which is even capable in doing wireless Wi-Fi, which is worthless on our hobby at QO-100, but when it's there, well, I might do something with it. Well, that's basically the story from this end, where I am working on. Let's quickly check the okay, I see I need to reset my BATC stream. We'll do that in the next over Brian, no problem. Okay, back to me. Microphone on to Peter. Peter, I hope you get ready. All your transmitters switched on, your audio okay, your video okay, which is always perfect, but yeah, you need some girl who organizes all the controls at your site. From PA 3 Foxtrot Bravo X-ray, a little bit audio and a test card. Yes, I have to look away to do that, and that's nice.
Okay, GW7BZY, finally. Sorry about that. Was I ready? Yes, absolutely ready. Absolutely ready there. It always comes around too fast, isn't it? I was just getting a demonstration sorted out when Steve handed over to me, and I thought I have plenty of time. Leon, just for you, mate. Yes. MW0 LLK as if cued in by magic from GW7BZY. Yeah. Well, I heard somebody there. I'm sure.
MW0 LLK returning. Yeah, good signal from your Peter. It's all working. I'll have to call 73 because we don't want to hog the talk with. Cheers.
Hey, Chris, GW7BZY. 33, etc. Yeah, there we are. It works. Perfectly clear voice, like clear as a bell. Not quite stereo, which we were enjoying just a moment ago. From you know what? I did write down stereo, but I haven't. But it's terrible for names. But anyway, all good. Happy birthday, Martin. If I didn't say it previously, then I'm telling you now. Happy birthday. I don't know how I missed that. I didn't see it written anywhere. Yeah, DMR, Liam. I did send it back because they didn't send me a magic lead with it. The radio. And I had thoughts, your thoughts, words were ringing in my ear. And I had to spend another £14. £10 to send it back because they said they didn't have a lead. Then, I'm just going to turn it off. Sorry, Chris. £10 I sent it back. They said they didn't have a lead, and when I sent it back, suddenly they found a lead. So anyway, I ended up with it, and it is a piece of
not very good in this, but I am sort of struggling with it, and I've got it to work, even though the programming side of it is not what it ought to be, and it's very buggy and not very good. But it is fun. The struggle is always fun, isn't it? It's always a learning experience. What else? Nice. Hello, PY2 RN E, I think it is, or RNE D. Good to see you. I haven't seen you before. I believe you've been on, but I'm not that often myself, so I've obviously missed you. Or it was in the early days. That's about it. All I've got to say, really. On this over, I might think of something for the next one. I'm going to enjoy a figgy roll. That's my treat. I've had my Sunday lunch. I've not gone out. And that whilst I hand it over to, I haven't written down who I'm handing it over to, but whoever's next from GW7BZY with a nice test card.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Let's see if it's working. Audio. Yeah, audio working. GW7BZY, this is Papa Yankee 2 Radio November. Nice to see you all. A great transmission from everybody. It's no longer, it seems no longer amateur television, but professional amateur television. Everybody, great transmissions. Hello, Gary, Leon, Martin. Yeah, very funny and very, very nice little bee that you put there. I wish all of them were like the bee you put there. And that's very interesting because the video showed that was exactly the scenario that I faced there. There was a lake. There was a lake. And there was a car. Okay? So I made a mistake. I didn't jump into the car. Actually, I jumped into the car, but I wrongly thought that the bees would jump with me. So I got off the car, but lucky I didn't jump into the lake. So it could be worse. And I don't know about the shirt, bringing the shirt to protect the head and eyes. No, well, actually, I was using a cap, so that was... that was terrible. And, you know, it's still itchy. The stings is still itchy after several days. Unbelievable. Brian, nice transmission. Harry, welcome back. It's a long time don't see. Zulu Sierra 6, Mike Charlie. Glad to see you again here on the DATV, or QO-100 actually. And great transmission. Hope you can join the nets more often now, Harry. And special welcome to William, Papa Yankee 2 Golf November. Still some issue with the transmission, some interruptions there that we gonna need to find out. But you know, essentially it's working, and very, very glad that you joined the Worldwide Net, William. Welcome. For Mike, Golf Zero Mike Juliet Whiskey, interesting that you bring this amplifier, this double amplifier, single deck double amplifier. Actually, I got 4 of them, and you know, I did the basic modification, which is bypass the circulator, and the 5 volts on the pin, you know, the 2 first pins and the last pin of the first line, and so it's very basic. The fact is, from 4, 2 of them gave me the expected output power, which is around 100 watts. Okay, 2 of them working fine. 100 watts. The other 2, I just got around 35, 40 watts. I have no idea. Yeah, but both just gave me same modification, same everything, nothing different. But they gave me only 35 to 40 watts each side. So I don't know what could happen. Maybe it came defective, maybe. And I don't know if I will investigate further, to be honest. But anyways, it's still a good power. I mean 30, 40 watts. If you combine them, you can get 60 or 80 watts. It's still good, but far from the 100 watts. And for Beno, very interesting your ESP32 experiments there with the meters and stuff. Maybe as a suggestion, maybe you can integrate with this guy here, and you know, make a very nice and colorful power meter. Integrating with this guy. Not sure if it's going to be possible, but I had some idea, some suggestion for you, Beno. Okay. For BZY Peter QSL, all good, not a problem. So I think I'm the last on the list, so gonna roll back to Gary, Zulu Sierra 6 Yankee India. Please go ahead, Gary. Thanks for coordinating the net. This is... Oh, Happy New Year, by the way, for everybody that I didn't see last week. And I would say Merry Christmas, Martin, but actually no, it's Happy New Year even. It's happy birthday, Martin. Last week I sent you. I just streamed a postcard wishing you happy birthday, but that was after the net. I don't know if you saw that, but anyways, Zulu Sierra 6 Yankee India. Please go ahead from Papa Yankee 2 Romeo November.
Okay, Papa Yankee 2 Radio November, ZS6YI. Yeah, all stations putting through good signals. Just hope my audio is okay. Yeah, seems to be okay. Yeah, I had 2 versions of DATV Red loaded at the same time, Leon, so I hope it's going to be okay now. But I just want to say hi to the guys on YouTube. That's Stuart Clark, ZR1 Whiskey Tango. I'm Nigel. That's funny. I see my signal dropped out and I don't know why. Power's there, unless there's somebody putting a carrier on. And hello to Ishmael, Delta Lima 2 India Echo, and of course Regina, Delta Golf 5 Fox Mike. Very good afternoon to you guys, and thanks for coming up. Yeah, let's just go down the list very quickly. There was a problem. What was that now? Okay. Firstly, Leon, yeah, very good on the satellite or the tracker that you're using on the kite, but I know those will go on missiles and all sorts of other funny things in due course. And indeed, damn it, Benno, Leon's got a wide range of electronic knowledge, that's for sure, and he dabbles in ancient stuff and new stuff at the same time, so very, very good, very blessed. Martin, great signal from you. Now, I was pulling your leg about a long over. I just saw there was a long list, so I thought we'd make it a bit shorter, but it doesn't matter. Of course, you know I pull your leg. And yeah, once again, happy birthday. We did wish you last week. And now I got your date, the 2nd of January. So there we go. Yeah, Leslie's mom is on the 3rd of January. So, and I'm on the last day of January. You guys don't know how to plan. You see, if I came on the 30th of January, there would have been too close to Christmas. If I came on the 1st of February, there's no money left. So it's timing. And I see a guy called Gary Rotten from the Sex Pistols, myself and our ex-minister of Finance were all born on the exact same day. So there we go. That's a bit of useless information. Right, Brian, nice to see you. And oh, Martin, I laughed about the bees there. Of course, Ed didn't tell you his pants dropped down, eh? Don't forget that. And so it was protect what or what? Which head do you protect? Oh dear, Ed, it wasn't pleasant, but the way you explained it, it was very funny. We really understood it, B for B. And then, Henry, nice to have you back on frequency. It's nice to see you. A bit more light on your face would work. But I hope you're going to start transmitting from Portugal when you go back at the end of February. I'm glad you got things going again, and it's always nice to have you back on. And William, very, very nice and welcome to you, Papa Yankee 2 Golf November. Other than just 2 blips or so, no problem, copied you nicely. You got very good video quality, good audio, so all very, very well, and nice to have you on, and we hope we're going to hear you more often. You say you're 200 kilometers from Sao Paulo, so you're quite a bit of a distance from Ed. Mike, that board, very interesting. You'd be surprised how many times people ask, where can they get these boards? So if you're going to make up more boards, maybe I should get some from you. And if possible, I'd, of course, remunerate you for that. And then we could get some going here. There are many guys that can't afford the latest equipment. They've got old equipment but can't come on the repeaters for lack of the CTSS tone. So that's a nice project, that actually. And Benno, yeah, lovely audio right in the beginning there. Good audio, good song. And of course it's in high stereo, nice. And also very interesting on that little project you're busy with. Yeah, you'll get an indication on those type of meters. The right way will be to have a heat thing, but Leon can give you more info. But it'll be good enough to see where you are, there's no doubt. Whether you're transmitting every 3 dB, you know, 50 watts or 100 watts, you'll see the difference, no doubt. But a nice project as well. Peter, yeah, you're all fired up and then no visuals, but we got to know you that way. And as you were showing your lovely little tart, I don't know what you call it, somebody must have zapped the carrier over you for a split second and then came back. And Ed, we have discussed the B issue and all the others. So, back to you, Leon. ZS1 Mike, I hope you're still there. I know you're going to go to your SALT or your second QTH from ZS6YI, and I hope the signal's a bit better. I found the fault, I hope.
Okay, fine, Gary. ZS6YI in the group, ZS1 Mike returning. Yes, I am now 55 minutes late already. But anyway, by the way, Gary, your dropout was definitely something that put a carrier over you. I checked the spectrum here, so it's not a fault on your side. But still, your sharpness is not what it should be. Why I'm so positive about that is I had a recording that we did some tests. Oh, this is months ago, and it was brilliant. I actually put it on a memory stick and took it to work to show the people there what you can do on QO-100 on 333. And you still said, you know, gee whiz, it looks so good. Imagine what it's going to look like on 1,000 kilo symbols. Anyway, so, and your camera keeps on hunting it. It's every now and then it changes the focus. That's not the problem. It looks like you are using one of those backdrop things, those insert things, not a boost screen. But anyway, so something has changed. And in that video recording, you switched to another camera, which looks like the one you're using now, and the other one was brilliant, sharp, and had better color as well. Anyway, it's working. Right, quickly, Gary, there are. Martin. Yeah, sorry, I don't think I was on last week, was I? But happy belated birthday. Brian, can't remember if there was anything significant there. Henry, nice to see you again. I wonder whether you've built the one valve transmitter yet, the one that I sent you the schematic. I remember. And William, nice to meet you. Everything was okay there. Obviously you can fine tune a bit. Mike, CTCSS, I made a little thing. I use a 12F509 pick, and I write a bit of code, and that's what I fit into all my old radios for CTCSS, and it works like a charm. And it's very small. It's the size of a 12F509, which is the size of a 555, with two or three little caps and so on for a bit of filtering, and you don't hear it, so it's quiet. Yeah, it's cheap, works like a charm. Right, and I've used that copper tape a lot of times to patch tracks and things, and to match things, you know, a little bit more capacity here and there. So yes, you know where they use that most of the time is the people who do this lead glass work. The edges of the glass they tape with that copper tape all around the edges, and then they put the two pieces of glass together, and then they run the solder on there, and they coat everything with solder, and there's your lead glass nicely bonded with this, because the glue on that stuff is quite good. So that's where they use it a lot, is that copper tape for lead glass work. Right, Benno ESP32, I don't even know what it is. You guys are so far ahead from us, or at least from me. But yeah, it's a nice compact little thing there that you're busy with the SWR meter and all that. Very good. Peter, yeah, you've got your standard 2 start attempts to get on the air. And that radio, it still sounds like Donald Duck. You won't find a thing like that in my yard even. It's horrible. I don't want to have anything to do with that rubbish. I've convinced them at work as well. Couple of million rands worth of stuff they have there, and I took some of the old analog ones, and I said to them, listen to the difference. I mean, the overseas clients, they can't make out what the other guy is saying. Then you give them the analog radio and they're perfectly happy. So no, sorry, won't do for me. Okay, yes, and yeah, I'm actually quite at home with valves. I cut my teeth on valves, but about 30 years ago, Mike, I had to open an IC. It was a little can. It was a TO5 can. We were building a very fancy piece of equipment, and they sent us the wrong component. It had to be a mixer, and they sent us a balanced modulator. It's in the same can, the same number of legs, everything. So I cut it open and I mounted lenses and stuff in a vise to get enough magnification, and I had to change the wiring of the little coils inside this chip to change it from a balanced modulator or to a mixer, or the other way around. I can't remember. It's 30 years ago. But yeah, I've done some funny things. I like working on the very, very tiny stuff. It's challenging, but it's satisfying to see that you can actually get it right. But anyway, yeah. Okay. Yeah, nice cartoon there. And battery. Oh yeah, that's a battery cartoon. Yes. And Ed, you've got the noise gate on, which makes it sound like there's sand on the microphone diaphragm. Not very pronounced, but I can hear it and I don't like it. Switch it off. I want to get everything from your shack, even the aroma. So I hate noise gates. Okay, gentlemen, I have to run. Really, I'm now exactly 1 hour late. Martin, over to you. G8KOE with a belated birthday for the group from ZS1. Mike now running off to the southern tip of Africa.
From G8KOE. Yeah, I'll leave my buzz friend up there. But I've actually had to shut the door because the sun's come out here. We've got 8.3 degrees down here in sunny Somerset. But yeah, thanks for all the happy birthdays. It doesn't matter whether they're late or not. Sometimes I'd like to ignore the birthdays, really. But yeah, I was going to just, I haven't got very much else to say, is to demonstrate the SRT repeater, which is that one there, hopefully. And hopefully, if I start up my camera, or my phone, shall we say, which should be streaming in, and or phone. Oh, come on. Hopefully, is it going to? It's no. Come on. I'm monitoring the wrong one. That's why. It says. There you go. If I've selected the right one, so that's it. There you go. That gives an idea of my station. The right one. So that's it. So that gives an idea of my station. Right, and that's the laptop over here, and that's the laptop over here. That's your SRT repeater operating. I'm looking at the delayed signal coming back from the satellite, which is really throwing me completely. So I'm looking at the delayed signal coming back from the satellite, which is really throwing me completely. It's up there, but and that's my on air the shack that's up there. I think, and that's the shack, and I think, as I didn't show any pictures of the cat. She is in front of the settee. The outside. There she is in front of the settee. I know Benno would put a signal in. And he put a good signal in. I know Benno would. That's just a little run round of the shack. A good signal. Weather station. So that's just a little run round of the shack. It's there. And the weather station. So it's there. I say goodbye to the. Switch things off. Stop broadcasting to the phone, and it should trunk back to that. Sorry if there's been a lot of double audio, which may have been. I wasn't prepared to do that, but I thought, well, let's just go for it. So it's round to Brian, I think, next. So good net, and I didn't make comments on Henry ZS6 Mike Charlie. Good to see you. Good to see you. Long time since, as you say. I remember when you first started, and I do appreciate the problems when you've got remote PA and amplifier, etc. My station's in the lounge of the house, and the PA's in the garage at one end, and there's a feed to the other end of the garage where the dish is on top, and that's controlled via the internet, etc., or network, shall we say, and do get problems, but overall most of the time it works. But it's all good fun, and I just use DATV Red, and I leave the Pluto's powered up all the time, and effectively I'm ditching a preamp that I've got to the PA. I just ditch the power to that, leave the Pluto running, and key the level up and down from the DATV Red. Anyway, I'm waffling now, and also good to see what was it, PY2 GN William there. Very impressive. I was looking at the dishes, as Mike said, in the background, etc., and yeah, really good. And Cheer the Red. I couldn't find a cartoon with the trousers dropped down, but I thought it was interesting on the water, and I didn't realise that you had water locally to you that you could have jumped into. But anyway, right, around you there, Brian. 7 all. See you all next week. And oh yeah, to I keep thinking of Gary. Yeah, it's all right. You can wind me up as much as you like. I don't mind. And yeah, thanks for the messages and such like. Right, now this time I'm going to pass it to you there, Brian. I'll put a test card up so you know it's definitely gone, and catch you all next week from G8KOE.
From G6HFS. Just check the L sound. That's it. Mute that. Yeah, it's been a good net. Enjoyed. I thought I'd come on a second time. And Mike, that amp, that dual palette, I've been using that since I started. Got it from our local supplier, as you may know, Jim. Yeah, I think the BIOS relay was put in there, all the auto and TX switching is done it now, and there's a cover on the amp, because that does make a difference. Because it makes it very difficult to run. You have to keep putting the lid on, and that does affect it. So the cover does really help, makes it very stable. You have to modify it a bit to let the connectors out, but it definitely works. The reason why it's on the amp nearest to us is because I think that one was the most power. That gave just over 100 watts, about 103, 105, whereas the back one was about 96. You know, there's about 10 watt difference, so it's not too bad. Mine matched up pretty well. So I would say, yeah, they comfortably do 90 watts each side on DATV frequencies, and even more and lower. If you do run them on lower frequencies, my measurements went up to 200. It's pretty. There's no more tuning can be done. But, yeah, that's the amp I'm using. It's been fine. It's not wired up there, it's just to check the LED volts. LEDs were all working and switching. It wasn't power tested then. I've got pictures of it being power tested, given 100 watts and stuff. But that's it. I'll say it's been fine with me. Where's my test card gone? Get that one ready. Yeah, nothing else to add. I'll just say 7.3's all. Been a good net as usual. I don't think Henry said he was coming back on ZS6MC, so I think it goes round to William, PY2 Golf November. So I'll say 7.3's and cheers for this afternoon from G6HFS. Test card, and then I'm gone.
Okay. I'll be honest with you, I just couldn't leave it like that. It was amazing, a lovely net. I want to thank everybody, and I must honestly say that I envy those that can work with SMD like Leon and Mike. Just absolutely amazing, and I'm sure Benno and also Ed. Ed, very nice to see you as well. Boatat, I hope all is well on your side, and certainly we'll try and be on as often as possible, and I hope the bees have not created too much of a problem. Anyway, enough from me. I love the net. It was fantastic. I love the honesty. Leon, as directors of PIN. Anyway, you guys must have a wonderful day and a wonderful week ahead, and hopefully I can see you again next week. Martin, happy birthday. Great stuff. And to you, Gary, bound to arrive very, very soon, as we know, 31st. Okay, cheers for now. 73, and we'll speak again. I think it goes to you, William. Very nice to meet you, and certainly you've got huge experience lying behind you. PY2 Golf November and the net. And please forgive me if I've forgotten anybody. This is ZS6MC now off and clear. Bye bye.
So, I would like to thank you all so much being here on this meeting for the first time, and I just made some arrangements on my power supply for the Pluto and for the preamplifier. I hope the drops are gone. It was a bad connection there, and probably this was the main cause of the problem. Okay, I have been paying attention for everything that you have been showing and talking here, and I must say that Martin told me something new about the bees. Nah? I have a lake, I have many bees here, and sometimes when working around with a tractor there are some bees problems, nah? Especially when I am driving the tractor. Nah? And the bees are much faster than the tractor, and it's always a nightmare. Okay. I have to cover everything that is possible and try to fly away with the tractor. So, and I am using Nokia pallet here that I got from Ed, and it's working very well. Maximum output can go up to 100 watts, but Actually, it's about 20 perhaps. The dish is very big, and I have to change the illuminator. I am using as antenna a dipole with a balloon, but I will make some changes and follow the schematics of the loop feed that Oscar Mike 6 Alpha Alpha published. Pavel has been doing a very nice job with a project of a very nice loop for this frequency and for 5G and for 1.2 also. Okay, so would like to thank you all. Have a nice Sunday, and probably I will be back next week, and trying to have more things to tell you and to show you, and see you. Bye bye from PY2GN, Pardinho, São Paulo, Brazil, on the Little Paradise Farm. Bye bye.
Try again. Okay, thank you, William. Looking at that dish, actually, it was a prime focus, about 0.4 f over d. The potty feed would actually be optimum for that, so it's a possibility. Although you've got separate transmit and receive, you can always just use it on transmit, or even just the standard patch without the hole in the middle. That would give you a fairly good feed for 2.4. I'm running about 15 watts here, something like that, because there's a tree got in the way. It would normally be more like 10. At the moment there aren't many leaves on it, so it's not attenuating as much as it was earlier in the year, but I'm going to have it trimmed soon to see how much that improves things, probably quite a bit. The pallet, the main reason for having the pallet on the bench was to take off the circulators. And the main reason for taking off the circulators was to test the hot plate. So no real intention of using it. It might be useful, I guess. Have 100 watts. Not that I need it. And Brian, you mentioned the top. Mine didn't come with a top, so I haven't got that. I've got several other pallets though, and a couple of stealth microwave PAs. That's what I'm using at the moment. A 50 watt stealth microwave PA running at about 15 watts. So that's that. Gary, on the CTCSS, it's specific to the TR751. I could send you the Gerbers if you like, if you happen to have a TR751E, not an A. But I think those are fairly rare in parts of the world that aren't Europe. They were a very good radio though. There are quite a lot of them sold. If you look inside them, they've got a proper filter for 2 meter band with coils and things, so they don't suffer from out of band interference, and they had a reasonable good design of synthesizer for the day. So not a bad performance, little radio, but yeah, no CTCSS because that wasn't a thing in the day. You could get the extra board, but they don't make it anymore. And compared to Leon's board, yes, I've made one of those as well using an Arduino, but this board is controlled by the radio, so you set the PL tone frequency and turn it on and off from the radio. It's an exact copy of the couple of chips that we used on the board that they had. All it is a tone generator and a shift register to program it with. Right, yeah, Martin, happy birthday. I didn't cotton on to that being at the start of the year. I wouldn't say it was too close, but it's better to be later in January, like me and Gary, than earlier in January. But I guess the ideal day to be born is not January at all, it's the 29th of February, because then you'd still be a teenager. and that would be good, wouldn't it? Okay, nothing else. So 7th, everyone, have a good week, and Happy New Year to those who I haven't said it to already. It's getting a bit late for Happy New Year's, but anyway, I hope everyone does have a good New Year and a good week. So with that, round to Benno, G0MJW, over.
Yeah, sorry for the audio. I guess my audio gets a little bit less, well, during the time. My computer is also on the internet, so probably it's related to one of the updates, but apparently somehow my audio gets less and less. Maybe even there's a battery in my microphone needs to be replaced or something like that. Something strange like that, because it's USB driven. Well, maybe I can find out why, but lately, over the last few months or so, I found that my audio gets lower and lower. Well, by the risk of Leon still being there, Leon, I guess you know this one, which is a Arduino Uno, the size of it. If you compare that one with the Arduino Nano, which is this one, and if you compare that one with a ESP32, which is in fact also very similar than an Arduino Nano, because it has a similar technology CPU on there, but in fact this is a developer board, and only this part is the CPU part, and this is all to communicate with all the pins and the USB connector. So nothing on the back, lots of stuff on the front, and it's basically only this part. But yeah, you have problems of connecting anything to it. So it's mounted on a developer kit board by default. Well, not by default, you can buy them separately. And there is one on the back here as well, which is ever so little less smaller, but it's about similar. And they have lots of analog and digital inputs and all other stuff in there. So it's by the way, and you can even program them with the same IDE program which you use for the Arduino ones. So just to get your an idea what an ESP32 is, it's basically the chip we're talking about, which is, by the way, very similar than the chip on the Nano. Okay, well, for that, and if everything works the way it should do, we'll probably write up something. I see Keith was asking about it, and yeah, Keith, I already found, well, I just looked at the set and don't read everything it is, and I said, well, I can find that, so I quickly typed in on eBay these goods. I mean, this is like 15 euros in my hand. It's not very much, and so and then now I found out that I have a very similar display, but not the right one, and I had the wrong ESP as well. So yeah, there are some ins and outs, and it's a Dutch article, so I think yeah, I think I will write something down if everything works, and if I start understand what I'm doing. That's always a good thing with these kind of things. And for the rest, and by the way, Ed, yes, I know that meter you showed me. I actually have this one, which is basically the same one with the USB connector, but it also has a display. I have read lots and lots of good information on that. I don't like this one. I'm not sure why. I have tested it, I have compared with it, I have measured with it, and I still think I will do something wrong, otherwise it's garbage. But in the end it is a standing wave meter, the electronics, the display I showed you before. It's a standing wave ratio meter, and obviously you can't do anything with this on the standing wave ratio. You need a forward and return loss signal. So you need 2 of those boards I showed you before on eBay. Okay, well, having said that, I have no clue where the project will bring, but it started this week, and if I have anything worthwhile showing, I will update it on the net here. Okay, I have forgotten to welcome William. Very nice signal. I know you are experienced, but I also know DATV is a pain in the ass in the beginning. The frequency of transmission and the power you need, it's simple if you know what you're doing, but at the start everything is difficult and everything is strange and everything is a wonderful hobby where big questions are. But I think your system is doing great, and yeah, I would say a nice, if you have a not a combined antenna, but like myself, I'm using 1.8 meters running about 30 watts on a POTI. But if you have anything else, I would still go for the helical, a nice helical antenna, because if you have not a combined system like myself, but a dedicated transmitter antenna, I would go always for a helical, because the only reason is that you have a much more optimized standing wave ratio, as the POTI is meant to be not good on the frequency, but it rotates just because it's slightly off frequency on both sides, and obviously that corresponds with a less standing wave ratio, and running a 100 watt amplifier on a less good antenna is never a good idea. So yeah, I would choose something like I'm actually looking at the moment, and I can't find it quickly enough, because it's not, well, I wonder where I put it, but a helical is always right on the dot, and you can actually make it 1.1 on your setup, and it's always the best to have a decent amplifier running at 1.1 instead of anything higher than that. Okay, so if you have 1,000 ham amateurs, they give you 1,000 advices, all to be good, and in the end it's your own choice, and it will be your own journey to get the best station. Okay, that's what I wanted to say about that. 73 all from PA3 Foxtrot Bravo X-ray, and being off and clear. I'm passing it on to Peter. See if your signal is getting ready and if my audio was loud enough. Do I have some music? Yes. Test mark. Yes, I have. Bye bye. Sorry, I should say bye bye all.
Okay, so there. Bit better that time, a little smoother. There's a lot to do with this end. I keep forgetting the fade to black. That was the only 4 this time. I got everything else working, fired up and everything. That was brilliant. And no, I've forgotten fade to black. But anyway, there we are. Excellent. Yeah, sorry, William. Welcome to you. I did give you a call sign, I think. I think it was your call sign. Perhaps not. But yeah, welcome. I haven't seen you before. Yeah, all good stuff from everybody. CTS tones, exciting stuff. I've got my oldest radio, the Yaesu D100 or 100D has SS subtones. I don't have anything older, so I'm not planning to get anything older. But yeah, it's very handy to have these gadgets, and that is fantastic that you can do them. I'm going to do with that for now. Although I have to say the repeater is 30 miles away, so I've got the extra long 5/8 whip stroke quarter wave 2 meter. Although it's only mono band, it did come with a little rubber duck, which works fine, but it's not quite as good as the properly tuned 5/8 77 whip. So I might buy myself one of them hotspots. I can't see really, not anyone's interested, that I'm going to go to All Star. I don't find the audio poor, as I'm well used to it, and I can recognise who's speaking and what they're saying, etc. There is benefits from digital modes. It is the audio sent. You can get it at a full deviation more or less, rather than the audio, which is varies, and it gets that noisy, doesn't it? So it's noise free. So it's technology. It's bound to be better. With that, I'm going to go. I might be on next week. I doubt it. Yeah, I will be. Just have a think about it. Will I have done anything any different by then? Probably not. But I might put an aerial up outside. That might be a thing. Might be. With that, I'm going to go. Thanks for everybody for letting me in, etc. I'll get Gary there. And I'll hand it round to whoever's next. From GW7BZY with a test card. What should we do this time? Well, we'll do a fly-in.
One, two, one test. All right, Papa Yankee to Radio November coming back. Interesting, Leon. Not sure if Leon's still here, but you still have a good ear. But it took you about 2 or 3 weeks to find out that I'm using noise cancelling and smell cancelling as well. Yeah, I just my shack is just above the kitchen, and it's 12:36. Lunch is being prepared, so I activated the smell cancelling as well. But very nice, everybody. I just forgot to show my new portable setup. That I'm still working on it. Actually, yeah, that's a Pluto Plus. For portable, it's okay. 30 watts amplifier with 32 volts, but actually it works okay on 28. And 5.8 gigahertz Wi-Fi. Here, I intend to put lithium-ion batteries. So the unit can run, wireless. Can run completely wireless without network cable, without power cable, if necessary, obviously. And it's the only thing that I'm afraid is about the lithium-ion battery, because if I need to take this on an airplane, maybe it's gonna be an issue. I'm still not sure, but anyways, let's see what's gonna happen. And it's an old box, but it's a new layout inside that I'm working on. On the top here, we got the fan, the Ethernet jack, the battery indicator, and that's it. Maybe you're gonna put some voltmeter and amp meter. So maybe it's I'm gonna implement there. I just put right now. I just put the most important thing, which is the fuse. I just put the fuse there, and that's about it. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Excellent net. Wish you a great upcoming week, and see you all next. Well, actually, next weekend I will not be here. But anyways, it'll be a pleasure. Thank you very much. 7312 Zulu Sierra 6 Yankee India with you, Gary. Close the net. 73 from Papa Yankee 2 Romeo November.
Okay, Ed, thank you very much. We're just going to wish everybody on frequency a very happy week. We're going to be closing the net. And thank you for coming up. It's been nice. And William, your signal was absolutely perfect this last over. So I think you have found the problem that was messing you around. So all good. Thank you so much to everyone that's also listened on YouTube or watched on YouTube. And we see each other next week, all being equal. This is ZA6YI, now closing the net and saying 732 all.